it. 10 seconds.
Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
Who?
Chris McKean.
Oh,
Scoring
I'm
guy.
Andy. I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and usually it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. Guess what starts with in Iowa, Chris?
10 seconds.
Nope. Hands-on helmets.
See, you asked me to guess. I had to guess wrong on purpose for you.
Well, sorry about last night.
Oh. Yeah, take the blame tonight. It was your fault.
Work comes first.
Work comes first and everything else.
Yep.
I'll take the blame for being a little late tonight, rushing, trying to do too many things at once.
I understand that one.
So.
Dang it. I meant to send you some pictures for tonight. Of course, I got rushed to and didn't get those sent. So I'm going to send them to you now. I'm sure you can get them put up.
What? No.
That was a good weekend.
I know. Good weekend. Short week. I mean,
Sure seems like it.
Yeah.
Like flew by this week.
For you? Yeah, it's been busy. We had football Monday, and can't even tell you. My days are running like what did we do? Yeah, football. It's all football right now. Everything.
Where do you guys play tomorrow night?
Oh, we'll play in Norwalk tomorrow night.
At Norwalk?
Yep. We'll play at Norwalk tomorrow and Monday.
It's a heck of a
We
stadium.
have varsity and junior varsity.
That's a nicer stadium than some of the smaller colleges have.
Yeah.
Man,
Sure is.
it's crazy.
I mean, other than that, I was busy every free moment. I wasn't working, getting year-end points done. So those are watching and haven't looked yet. The end championship series points have been posted. I am human. So yeah, if you find something, as a couple I found today, just shoot us a message. We'll review it. And I was on top of it today. Pretty much was able to fix everything within a minute or two.
I was pretty impressed. One of them was texting me back that again, and I'm like, it's already fixed. And he's like, oh. But
I'll be drinking a lot. I think I'm already getting a full cold or something already. So, yeah.
That's the thing about those points, though. Number one, I'm very impressed you got them done already. Usually that's always taken us like a couple weeks. I know you're a lot faster on that, but the thing about that, well, I got to admit though, I know you were getting asked already at the banquet, not the banquet, the potluck.
Yeah.
On Saturday night if the points were done yet. That's what, 2 hours afterwards, 3 hours.
And already with maybe adult beverage in me, you're still able to handle the question okay. So.
Yeah, but I was impressed. You got them done as quick as you did. And, the thing about that is some people, I don't think people do, but I'm sure there's somebody that's like, man, how do you screw my points up? It's like, as well as I do, obviously, Chris, but I don't know how many years Trace and I did that, and you get to looking at so many numbers, now you've got some programs and stuff I think helps you a little bit, but man, it just, all the numbers kind of go together really quick, and
Yep.
Need a couple different sets of eyes to look at, overlook them, So
Yeah, and I will say some of those were some late nights after work, and some having some dinner with the family. That working at looking at those numbers, they making me go cross-eyed. So, space it out a little bit.
there's a lot goes into that, that's for sure.
Very impressed with the numbers, though. I mean, some close classes. So,
Hey, speaking of numbers, once again, set another record, right?
104. Don't quote me on that. I think is the number.
I thought it was 107.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 107. That's crazy. That's awesome. Not only that, but I know I always say this, but you can see the numbers keep going up. I think we had probably at least 4, maybe 5 that were asking about numbers for next year, that the little brothers, little sisters, or somebody new. I know there was a family that came and watched just to come watch it and is going to start racing next year. Believe it or not, Chris, I know you will not believe this, but out of those 4 or 5 people, when I say 4 or 5 people, I'm talking just kids right now.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm going to say 3 out of those 5 were looking at racing. Guess which class? You'll never believe it.
I'm going to guess the 90s, because we had a couple extra at this race.
90 stock.
Yep.
So yeah, none of these were there. They're looking at it for next year, but that's going to be on top of the list, is trying to figure that 90 class out. We're going to have to get ages before. We know that for sure.
Yep. So that was kind of my thought. After I got through the points, let me take a little bit of a breather. There's some things on the home front I got to get taken care of in the next week, but I'm going to hit it hard. Especially, I think if we can determine what we call the old 90 stock class, see who's moving up maybe to the junior class or one of the other classes, then that'll kind of help us out. I think that we need to really, truly leave the 8-9 alone.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't ready to talk about this yet, but I kind of let us into it.
You did. It's kind of a hot topic.
It is.
And you're affecting, what did we have? 45 different kids. If more than that. No, there's just 30. In the old 90s that raced, 46 that raced this year.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
32 young 90s. So you're talking, 78 kids raced and just on a 90 stock. And that's at least one race, right? So some come and try it. And some return and some raced all year. So definitely our heart topic that we got to try to solve over the wintertime, but we don't need to solve it just right, within the next day or two.
And we've had a lot of suggestions. Nothing has really grabbed me yet. But I agree with you. We got to figure out a third class is really our challenge. And I think we still leave at least the 2 age groups. It may be a third age group if that's what it comes down to. But I don't know. I thought of everything from like, it's hard to do a first year class, because you don't know how many you're going to get. So it may not truly help it. And then there's been a lot of talk about doing a 90 open, not an open, let you do anything, but 90 stock and,
open age group. So if you have a fast 8-9-year-old that can keep up with a 14 or a 10 to 15-year-olds, why not race against them?
Yep. So no matter what the name is, we come up. That's been an idea. But we're a ways away from hitting that yet. We know that. So, but just rest assured that we are going to split that up at least one more time. I mean, that's what it has to do, Of course, the other question that came up quite a few times, and when I say it like that, I don't mean anything bad by it. I mean, it's people are asking and suggestions, and that's what we want. But there is no time to do another race, so we won't throw a whole nother race in there. So, but it's just trying to figure out how to separate them on the rows and stuff. So we'll get it figured out. But man, what a weekend though, Chris. It's we had a couple things go wrong for us on the track crew. We got our skid a little late, and so we're trying to get all the bales and all that stuff moved. And I hated to do it right then because all the kids were out trick or treating. And man, is it just me? I didn't get to go actually see them. I just got to drive by them all the time when I was putting bales out. But to me, it seemed like we had like 3 times as many, which we got a lot of kids racing now, but it looked like we had about 3 times as many trick or treaters than we typically do. There was a lot of them out there.
Was there? Good.
No, you weren't there. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I know. I was,
Yep.
I didn't get, which was a long day, getting up before the sunrise to make the trip down Saturday, but it's what we live in. Football, mentioned that's life right now. Wrestling's already started, so we're not even going to get a transition or a little break from football to wrestling. So,
yeah, no, I forgot. Sorry that you weren't there. But yeah, we just had a ton of kids were trick or treating, and this year I think there's a lot more pits that were really decorated. I think you got to hand it to Lutz. I'm not sure if it's him or Melinda, but boy, they always have fun with that, with all the automated stuff. And it's pretty cool. Just literally getting to go around and see some of that. That was a lot of fun from the kids. So a lot of candy was handed out that night. So, but then we had, let's see. So then we go to Saturday morning. Obviously we had to be up there bright and early with 7:30 is when we started that first round of the Hotsy hole shot.
Yes. Yep.
It's such a simple, and going back to how we came up with that was riders talking about that. It wasn't something that, we just dreamt up. That was, once again, it's a great idea from the riders, and stuff to do. And then we just kind of built off of it from there. But this is what, our 3rd year, I think it is, doing that.
Yep.
And we get a really nice crowd. That we had some very, very close races. We had to go to the camera for, I'm going to say probably a half a dozen, the video. But 2 or 3 had to be reran. It was too close to call even with the video. So that was really cool. I
kind of jumped the gun. That's the Hotsy hole shot.
Yep.
Sponsor. Great turnout. Top 4. Yep. You're going to talk about top 4?
Yeah. But, it's interesting, though, on that, Chris, when you look at that, going in, you think who's got the best chance, It's like, and it's just natural to think like that. Is it going to be, some people think the 1,000 Can-Ams, 4-drive is going to be the one to beat. You got your 2-strokes out there. When they start fast, they're super hard to beat. You got 250cc machines out there that, I don't know if it's because they're lighter, or what. Great driving, obviously. It's all about the corner at the end. It's not just a drag race, but man, we've seen everything, and there were some big heavy hitters taken out in the very first round,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking at that. So at the very end, our top 4 was Kevin Weedy was our whole shot king on the Can-Am. We had Jacoby Cooper was 2nd. We had Jackson Carroll 3rd, and Tyrell Kerr was 4th. So we had a 2-stroke, 2 Can-Am 1000s, and a Honda 450 is what we ended up with. And I broke that down, Chris. We had 2 guys out of the open 4x4. we had a guy on the plus 30 and the old C. So it's truly anybody can win that. There's no doubt about that. Man, it was really good racing. So
Yep, and your pick was in that bottom left quadrant that Kevin Weedy kind of snuck out of. But that was a good quarter final battle between Weedy and Sheets.
Yeah, that was. I think I think he did razz me a little bit, Kevin, but everybody knows I had Kyle Burnham picked to win again.
Yep.
I think I picked him I picked him 2 out of 3 years. I know it was because last year I went for the upset with Cole Brandt.
Mm-hmm.
The way he was starting last year, I went with Cole, and then but anyway, yeah, I had Mr. Burnham picked to win, and Kevin got him. I think it was. Didn't we have to rerun one of those, or did he get him? I think they had to go twice because one was too close or something. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't that one. But yeah, I think I upset Kevin by picking against him. And he went through there. He was in the hole there once where he was down, I think 0-1 in the finals, wasn't it? Or something, or it's tied. Because I know they had to go back to 2 out of 3, didn't they?
2 out of 3. Yep.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was really cool, and Kevin did a great job. Very deserving. He's been racing with us for a long time, and he's one of those super smooth drivers, So he did really good getting around that bale and picking up the whole shot king. And thanks to Hotsy, he got his new sprayer. I don't know if you've seen that. That was really cool.
Nice.
Got his sprayer and some little goodies there. And speaking of that, was really cool. 4th place, Tyrell Kerr. I think Tyrell was trying to earn some of that money. I don't think enough people probably know about that or give him enough credit, but that's 2 years. Is it 2 years now or 3 years in a row
2, I believe,
that Tyrell's put the money up? So yeah, Tyrell's put the money up himself. $750 gets paid out at the banquet this year. And you know what I'd do with that $750? I would go buy Tyrell some drinks at the banquet. Because it seems like he always says, yes, I'll do it again after he's had a couple drinks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why don't we just give him your room number again?
Yeah, that may not work this time. I don't think I'm staying this time.
I believe you bought me a drink on your tab too, so thanks for that one.
I can't believe you guys would do that to me. I'm so nice to all you guys at the banquet. I just
that was paybacks.
Paybacks.
Sure,
good job to everybody in that whole shot challenge, the Hotsy whole shot. That was really cool. So
yeah. And it was tight to kind of push I know it felt like we were rushing, but with time schedule, I think we were about on time, maybe a few minutes late.
I don't think so. I think we were good. And I'm sure you get them too, but I get questions all the time. I sure don't blame anybody, but are we going to be able to start the kids at 11? Or are we going to get this started with all the stuff that we're doing? I mean, it's amazing when you look at the whole shot challenge, all the different rounds.
Yep.
Everybody was still being able to line up, on time. We got everybody started within a few minutes of the time they're supposed to have. And with the adult challenge, 90 challenge, and then all the races, that's pretty proud of everybody. We got through that thing really well.
Let's comment about that before we kind of move on and talk about our homework assignments. The adult 90 was entertaining, I thought, a little bit.
It was.
Your overall winner, questionable starting, but he figured something out nobody else was doing, and it was actually working for him.
Nothing against it in the rules.
No. So yeah,
Yep.
still hands on helmet. We let them start with engine running.
Yep.
But yeah, little throttle, knee throttle, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
in neutral, and left them when dropped the board, was able to put it in first and take off. So
Yeah, that was pretty smooth. I thought somebody else would pick up on it by the end, but nobody ever did it.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
so
that was pretty cool.
so congratulations to Jackson Carroll. Hopefully he's doing okay and doing better.
I actually just got an update from his dad. Said he's doing okay. He said he had surgery Tuesday and he's at home resting.
So those who
So
don't know, in the what was it, first lap, right? They
yeah,
didn't get a
first
lap in, first lap coming across the pond dam. I don't know what happened there. I just know it was after the pond dam. Maybe he took a spill the wrong way and was it collarbone?
yeah.
Yep. So
Collarbone and a concussion. So yep.
I'll
So
wish him a speedy recovery.
Zach might have some tips on that.
I wasn't going to go there. Zach might give him some tips on recovery and what not to do.
Yep. Yep. So we're definitely praying for him. Hopefully, it's a tough one for him. He had some more races this year and trying to qualify for one of the top classes for GNCC next year. So that's kind of a kick in the shorts for him for sure. So, but yeah.
Yep.
So then we get to our kids race.
Yeah.
Boy, what a kids race. That was huge on that youth session. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. 31 or 32
32
90s on the one row.
32 and 21.
Wow. And just think, Chris, when we split them up, I think we had something like 35 on a line. And now we're at 32 and 21. That's crazy. But so talk to me. I tried to limit this to top 5. And I'm probably going to give you a top 5, but man, I got a half a page of the kids and they all impressed me. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of little wins in there,
Yep.
And, but man, it's just like there's so much going on. It was incredible. It was hard to, there's so many races within the race, and, I caught myself like losing track. One would come by and it's, I know that's going to be a close one, and well, then you'd see something else or you get pulled away. And afterwards, when you hand the results up there at the awards, I had to take just a minute just to go through there and look because I hadn't seen exactly, how they finished. And
yeah, it was
pretty cool.
It was close battles within seconds of each other. That super mini, that first half of the race, man, that was so close. All of them were together. And then, things happen. We don't all have the race that we want to have. And just turned out a little bit different.
But I do remember Yarrington won that one.
Yep.
And yeah, that was probably one of my highlights of the kids is when he came through the finish line. Do you remember his response, his reaction to that? He was like pumping the fists and everything. He was pretty happy. It was just cool. You like seeing that, it's not just another day at the office, it's out there working for everything and, and it came to for him. So I thought that was pretty cool. Good. So talking about the 90 section, talk to me, give me one of your top 5s.
Well, I'm a little late with my homework here, so I'm kind of like looking down on my list here.
Well, let me just knock.
Yeah, you can knock it out.
I don't think I could say this enough times. And I don't always just try to look at who won because there's
Yeah.
so many little wins, and like for instance, this isn't one of my top 5, but it very well could be. Is I remember the young Collison kid, Chances, is it his boy or nephew?
Nephew, I believe.
Yeah. Just something happened on the line and just didn't want to go. And next thing I know, he comes by me and he's hauling the mail out there, So I was really glad to see little stuff like that, that worked out. But man, I'm telling you what, Chris, I don't think I can list a number 1 without mentioning one of these two. And that's the Styles boys.
Okay.
Wesley and Wyatt. Oh my God.
Yeah, we talked about them last week.
Yeah. But man, I don't know if any of them clean sweeped. I don't think they clean sweeped.
No.
But man, they are always right there. I know they both won this week, but if we ever did another Heartland Challenge, those two, man, should always make sure they team up. That's for sure.
A coincidence, they both got 2 second place finishes throughout the year.
They got 2 second place?
So they got 5 first places each and 2 second place finishes.
Huh.
So that's consistency. And I'm horrible with names. I talked to Mom a little bit last race and just kind of was, picking her brain why these two are so fast. And like we said last week, they ride every weekend. So they get that seat time. And it's nice because there's 2 of them so they can push each other.
Absolutely.
Which, I think that Wyatt's got a little bit more of an advantage due to the fact that he's younger. He gets to see what older brother does. He's going to have more opportunity. He's only 8-9 range right now, probably 10. But he's still got quite a few years. He can be on a 90.
Yeah,
you can just see what 2-3 years on a 90 will do for you. Once you get that experience on how to shift and learn how to throw that machine around to where you need it to be, it'll work out for us.
And you and I know have heard this conversation a million times a year. It seems like is a stock 90. But what are we doing to it? What can you do it? What can't you do to it? It's supposed to be a stock. Maybe he's too fast. Maybe we need to check this one. There is absolutely nothing you can do to that machine that will make as big a difference when you have a kid that's riding all the time. There's nothing can substitute riding time, and those two pushing each other all the time like that just makes a world of difference. So yeah, good job to the whole Styles family there.
I think you also, with that, you got to talk about the Christians family.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Elliot, Leo, they're not all brothers, sisters, Braley, they're Colts, they're all there together. And, they're, especially at Murray, they're right next to scoring. And those kids are always active. And I think it helps them being active as much as they are and all on machines that they can all ride and push each other.
Well, they came from the 50 limiteds last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
On the 50 limiteds. Yeah, that's a pretty good jump. And they didn't lose a step, So, yeah, very impressive. I'll tell you another one that just, I can't really say blew me away because I knew he could do it. But sometimes you just have that bad luck. Sometimes the race just don't come to you, But I think going into this race, Riker Birch, I think he knew that. And I can't tell you, I can't look at I haven't looked at the points, but I thought it was maybe he had it won or maybe it was already, but I thought he had to have a good race for some reason. Like he had to have this one or something. But man, he went out there, and if I remember right, I think he led every lap. I mean, I think he had a really good start and got out there, and every time he came by me, man, he was hauling the mail. That's for sure. So, and then I think, him and Braylon Mathis, I think they were first, second, and they finished second, third in the overall. So that was very impressive too.
Oh, third overall, for the race.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So
Well, Jaden was right up there too. So it was a close race between Jaden Winbush and Hunter Rowe for second in the 90 production. And Jalen just squeaked it out, with the throw out. Jumped to second place, I believe.
now,
overall.
is that the one that was tied going into it?
I can't confirm or deny. There's too many numbers going through, and I got to try to pay attention to. Could be.
I can't remember. There was one class that they were tied going into it, and no, maybe that was the Hale and Yarrington.
Which that one too. That was, two girls up front. You got to give them a shout out.
Well, I'm just gonna say it right now. Probably one of the toughest girls out there racing. She raced with a broken hand or a broken arm.
Yep, I saw that. You
couldn't
tell when she was racing.
Yep. And I think talking to the parents before, I thought they were looking at maybe her just starting just to get her points, or maybe doing a lap. But when she came by me, it was pretty evident that she wasn't just doing a lap. So she was digging pretty hard. So got to give her credit there for sure. I think.
So she ended up based on points, and Rhett Hill actually winning the race. He won the overall. He won the series points.
Rhett did?
Yep. Haley finished second.
Good job out of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh. So yeah, another 90 production class. I mean, I know you said it. We've said it multiple times. 32 and 21, but you and I have talked about the starts. How many wrecks have we had truly with the 90s this year off the start?
Hardly any.
And compared to our adult classes, it's got to be, adults should be out there looking to see what these kids are doing.
I think we need to do that next year. We need to have all the adults out there and make a line, hold hands like elementary, and everybody focus on the start so they can see what these kids do. So, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that line, I guess you weren't down there, but Chris, when I went to start the large 90 class, I think it was the old one, if I remember right. I started to go down to the bottom, but they were all the way to the fence. It's like there wasn't nowhere to get out of the way when we started them. So that's unbelievable. I mean, it's got to put a smile on your face when you see that many of them starting, and they all just lead by example. There's many times that they could, turn somebody around, but it's unbelievable. Now, we did have one mishap. Yeah, that would have been the young 90, I think, with Kendall Muller. And I'm still not sure what happened. Maybe there was a little bit of rubbing, or if she just hit a bump, but she went over pretty good and right on the first corner.
Yeah.
But man, she popped right back up on there and just took right off, and that was pretty impressive. That another tough girl out there for sure. But yeah, the way they start that race, and if you go out and watch them, it just amazes to me at a young age how they've learned, to race, and I see some of them getting out of the way, some of them, raise their voice to let them know that they're there. It's just like, it's amazing how well the kids do at good sportsmanship, So,
yeah. So, two quick shout outs. Coulter Smiley, our series PR guy.
That was my next one, so I'm glad you said it.
Great season. I mean, threw it together. Good to see him winning. awesome season. Looks like
I think he led every lap too, didn't he? I'm pretty sure every time he came by me, he was leading every time.
Possibly. Yeah. Good strong season out of him. Yeah.
You know, I was looking. Axel Howard always does well, but again, he shined big time this race for sure.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought we were just talking about the youth. You're going to throw in minis there too?
Well, I wasn't, but then we started already talking about Yarrington and aren't those 50 productions?
Yep.
So yeah, we kind of threw it together.
Okay.
Sorry, when we got connected the dots there.
So many. I mean, Piper Davis, you can see her finding her groove. Like this little girl was so shy.
Yeah.
You know, her big sister's rubbing off on her, and you can actually see her get more aggressive out there. That she's starting to understand and pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, good old Mimi, you know, right there too. I mean, that girl puts a smile on my face every time I see her. So
she's always smiling.
Yeah. I thought, Danny Bowling. I thought he was having a good first half of that race. He was up there. So many of those 50 stock hits.
Yeah.
Came down to last corner, right? For the winner of the class.
Yep. Sure did.
There's a lesson learned, right? You kind of, if you have the door open, somebody's gonna come in and take it away, right? So it's a learning lesson for that one. But such a close race between Ace Summerfield and Dakota Bernard, who jumped up. Dakota was in the limited class. Could have ran for points in year-end awards, but decided to jump up to the 50 stock class to give it a try, and came out with a first coming into the last corner, ended up second at the finish there.
And you really got to give him a tip of your hat because like you already said, but throwing the points away, and he's still probably up there, but he would have been up there a lot higher, you know, had he done that. But to just kind of say, forget that, I want to see how I can do, man, I love that. I love seeing that. So kids are motivated. You love seeing it. So, you know, I looked at all those kids though, and there's a lot of good classes, but the one class, of course, that stuck out to me when I looked at that was still that old 90 stock. And the reason being is I kept seeing that up there, and I'll be honest, I didn't think Styles was going to win that one because he was not a long ways back, but he was back far enough. And it seemed like every lap I was kind of watching and he was behind somebody. Sure. And so I went back and looked at that class afterwards. Do you realize how many laps Styles led on that one?
Wasn't it just the last one?
Just the last one.
Yeah, I think it was third race mode. I think it was about third coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, that Cash Crease. And I'm sorry, Walker Easton led the first two laps.
Mm-hmm.
He was right there. And then that Cash Crease led the next two laps, lap 3 and 4. And then Styles gets it, the one you want to be leading, and that's the very last lap. That's pretty cool. Those guys had a heck of a battle.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Like I'm gonna name off just like Xander. He's on the cuff. I mean, Gunnar Moon is brand new with us this year. Austin Haggerty, Whitley Essep, Austin Haggerty, Hayden Logan, Mason Kane, Piper Bernard. There's several of these names that they're outside the top 10, but I think these are our newer racers. So if I had a list of maybe some to, with the exception of Xander, to look out for, kind of that mid-range, keep an eye on them next year because I think they're going to blossom. So,
yep.
Yeah, Daniel Lloyd's on that list. I mean, there's some that are moving up that just putting the right race together.
Yep. Absolutely. Future looks good there. That's for sure. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, then we get to the adults. Anything stick out there? You get to see them coming through there, obviously, all the time.
I will say I was a little bit busy with the adults. I have my parking lot list I was dealing with. Things didn't go okay or perfect at scoring, but by the end of the race we got it all smoothed out. Things happen. So I was inside just re-verifying, double checking backup scoring to the scoring system, so making sure that was all okay. So I didn't get to see a lot. I think it was already, almost half over by the time I got to actually come out and see things happening.
I'll tell you.
I'll say the women's class for sure was something I was watching. The top three for sure. Shay Gilbelstein got, I think, a whole shot that one. I think that might be her first one. So,
yeah.
Who else? A class. Woo! I will have to say A class was probably the one to watch.
Yeah. That class is on fire. Every race, it seems like.
Yep.
Somebody has like the race of their year, and yeah, it was good.
I got to give a shout out to, we talked a little bit before we went live. Nicholas Lucas came out, got a win. I think this might have been his first win outside of youth classes or junior class, but a win in B class. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. He's another one that's got his brother back now. He's back in Iowa, and I'm sure those two are at least trying to ride as much as they can, my guess is. But so, yeah, no, he had a heck of a ride.
I don't know if I mentioned it before. Nick Stratton, our plus 30 champion for the year. He put a season together.
Yep.
So
that's one I had on my list, my top 5.
Kudos to him. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, one of my top 5s had to have been a whole class, and that was the Open 4x4.
Okay.
Brent Benjagurdy's, you don't have any favoritism. I mean, he works I always say, the hardest working guy there is out there. Probably not
besides yourself.
Thank you, Chris. You just gave me a compliment. I don't know if you meant to do that. But yeah, I'm impressed. But no, he just gets there, he works his butt off, but then he's out there racing. I have no idea. And that goes back to the Ironman. We've seen him do that for 2-3 days straight, and then race 10 hours all by himself. And a lot of people may not know it, but he tore his leg up pretty good landing on a jump at Weldon, and he already has to have shoulder surgery. Now he's got to have, I shouldn't say anything, but I think it was a torn ACL and and MCL maybe, or something like that. In his leg. Yeah, he's not getting around very good at all. And we finally got him to slow down on the help, and he still did probably more than he should have getting ready for the race. But going out there, he knew exactly where he had to be. And it's probably one of those things, kind of like Yarrington, try to tell her not to race with a broken arm, And it's kind of like with Brent telling him that, hey, I know you want to win this, but, maybe you should just kind of chill a little bit. He wasn't having any of that. So he's been after that championship for a long time. He knew exactly what he had to do. Kevin Weedy did everything that he could do. He had to win it to win the championship. But there had to have been at least one person in between him and Kevin or Brent in order to get it. And if I remember right, it was that way till about halfway through the last lap. And Brent got in front of the third or the runner up. And so Brent ended up winning. I think Kevin was second just by 1 or 2 points. So
1 point.
1 point.
1 point.
But you know what? To show the sportsmanship, I was talking with Kevin and stuff. And, don't get me wrong. You're willing to beat your mom to win the championship. You know what I mean? But that was one of those things you could see as a double-edged sword. He wanted to win it, but I know that he knows how hard Kevin or Brent's worked for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if Brent won it, Brent won it. It's like it kind of eased the pain a little bit, but Kevin definitely wanted it too. So that's cool. Anytime you see a championship like that come down to 1 point at the end, no matter, obviously you want to win, but that's a good championship. It's a lot better than winning 7 races and winning, by 100 points. You want someone's going to push you, and those two do a good job of that.
Yeah. You got to also, shout out Riley Sharp. I mean, he didn't have the greatest race this time, but he was in the utility and jumped up mid-season to the open utility. He wanted he wanted the competition. So glad for that he's jumped up. Just didn't have the year I think he was looking for, but it's always next year.
Yep. Got a first-time winner again with Jonathan Thomas. He picked up his first win. Did a really good job there, so congratulations to him. You mentioned the A class. Yeah. Again, you got to give credit to Jace Tomlinson. He was hauling the mail this time. What he got overall?
Oh, I can look that up.
Man, I know he's suffered a little bit on arm pump and stuff, but God, he had to have been a top 10. I wouldn't doubt if he was like a top 5 the way he was running. But to pick up that win, I talked to him afterwards, and he said the arm pump was really good this time. Maybe it was because it wasn't quite so tight, and everybody said the track crew did a really good job. It was like a real flowy track, which was nice to hear, and the other thing is too, not to get off subject of the racers, but man, in the timber, it was nice. Well, it was almost perfect in the timber. It didn't look like that from where you were because, you could only see them in the open and it looked really dusty, but
it did.
But man, you got in the timber and it was really pretty nice.
Yep, so, I got some equipment that proves it was a little dusty that had to be cleaned up, and so
yeah.
Jace Tomlinson 7th overall.
Wow.
So we had 13 AA riders, and he was able to get by a handful of them.
Very nice. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good racing, that's for sure. Colton Voss, I thought had a good race. I remember he caught my a couple times. I like his quad. It has the big Voss, red and white, coming at you. And, my wife's one of them. I'm sure you are too, but my wife's the one when they're coming at you. Oh, that's such and such. That's such and such. Half the time they wave, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, who was that? But I love it when he has Voss on the side of his. So every time he comes, exactly who it was, and it's just, it's a good looking quad, but I thought he had a really good race. And another one that I thought was really good too was Blaze Fry picked up the win in the schoolboy.
Yes. Yep.
I'm not sure how he did overall, but I know he's looking forward to going to a 450 next year.
Okay.
So got to talk to him a little bit afterwards, and yeah. And I want to give a shout out and I don't know how he ended up in his class. Trying to look it up here really quick.
Who is it? I got it right here.
Cody Pierce.
He was in C class, 5th. I believe this was his second race back.
Yep.
Yep.
And I can't, people's been around for a while. They might know what happened and stuff. And I don't want to talk about it because it's past tense, but I do want to put out there how proud I was of that kid, because he had a issue, you know. There's sometimes I think it happened to Murray actually, but
it was, yeah,
a couple years back and stuff. But
yep.
He called me, you know, here a month ago or so, and wanted to come talk to me, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but I'm going to anyway, because you just, lots of times you don't get that, you know what I mean? And I respect it. He wanted to come talk to me about the incident that we'd had before, and so there's no need, you know, it's over and done with, and he learned from it, and we're good. And, you know, we open our arms, welcome him back. It's, you know, we're glad to have him back and stuff. And his dad came and talked to me about the same thing, and I told him there's no need. It's all in the past. Just have fun, man. We got a lot of good people out there right now, and there's some of them. So it was just good to have, you know, him and his family back, and I did a really good job. So
yeah,
that was about it for me. Except,
well, if you're going to throw another class, you got to do the old man class. You know, normally they're racing with their walkers off the quads, but on the machines they're all so close, and they're flip flopping back and forth. So, you know, Chris Wyatt came out with the win, but you know, Paul Cirque was right there, and Thad Trump. Even Jim was there too at a point. So all those old guys still got it. I mean, overall leaders were doing 8 laps. These guys did 7. So it's not like they're sitting back there doing parade laps. They're on it, and they're competitive yet at Paul's old age of what, 75 or so. This
I think so, yeah,
about 75, 80.
And that explains why, you know, when we do the awards, we have to yell at them, and on their way up, you know, we get 2 or 3 more classes done, you know, before they get up there, you know. So that makes sense. But hey, and you mentioned Chris Wyatt. Chris is just one of those guys that shows up, wins his class, my work's done, I go home. You know, we're just so used to him not even coming to the awards. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd award ceremony he's came up to, and it looked like he had fun, you know, and it's good to see that, you know. The Wyatt family's been there forever, and, you know, and yeah, it's just cool to kind of see a different side of Chris, and, you know, and have him coming up and enjoying it, and just look like he's having fun. I really like to see that. So, you know, I got to give a shout out. It's easy to say for the top dog. All right. But it's been an up and down season for Jordan Berg, you know, but Jordan, he put a race together here. He was gone, you know, and, man, I think he ended up winning that thing by like 3.5 minutes. You know, he was, I don't know. I suppose the GNCC probably helps, because there's, I think, and I'm not knocking it, is more of an open track typically, you know, but it just seemed like that track fit him. And I think usually I would say he's probably better at the tight stuff anymore. But, man, this race, I don't know if he liked the track or he disliked it, but he definitely tamed it. He slayed that track. He was moving. So it's fun to get to see them guys. And when you're watching or taking pictures, you can sit back there and say, "Oh, here they come," because you can hear them coming, you know, and it's a lot of fun doing that.
Yep. Well, if you're throwing out any class, if there was a sportsman award that we would give out for this race, it would have to go to yeah, was it Alec Vanderpool
Okay.
that informed us of the situation that was happening on the track
Yep.
with another racer. So shout out to that. I mean, we don't always hear, understand, or comprehend because you got racers are in race mode, but he took the time to stop and let us know there was an issue on the track involving another.
I don't remember if that was Alec or Cade.
I can't.
It was one of those two.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but I mean, good show of sportsmanship. It was another rider in their class stopped and let us know so we can radio you track guys and get the EMTs out there for the issue. So
yeah, and and that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up because when they come by and they yell and they point backwards, that's what we ask them to do to communicate with us. If there is an issue.
Yeah.
But when they pull over and tell you exactly what's going on and then take off, something's wrong. So we found that we couldn't find that individual. We went looking for him, and they had actually gotten up and went to their truck, and we found him at the truck and made sure everything was good, and just gotten hot, it sounded like, and out of breath. So, but yeah, it's always a good, really cool to see that on the sportsmanship for sure. And I'm proud to say that happens, not that same situation, but I think we're pretty blessed to get to see the sportsmanship alive like we see it pretty much every race in one way or another, So it's really cool when we see that.
Yeah, and that's just, my point of view, what's going on in my 100-foot section of track. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah, we had a good race. We had little to no drama at all. This year really outside of, you're always going to get well, I don't think he passed me and how did I get this? You're going to have a couple questions like that. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But really this year we have not truly had the drama at all. It's been a really good year. It's been a great year, number wise, but to me, more importantly is I think everybody's been a little bit more accountable, for their actions and stuff, and I've been impressed. I've been real impressed.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best year where somebody has come forward when maybe they didn't do the right thing and allowed us to fix that. I mean, you can't fix what you don't see, right? I can look at scoring, I can look at lap times, I can compare our backup sheets to the scoring sheets, and it's all numbers to me. Like I can't, somebody cut a 30-foot section of the track, it's really truly not going to show up on lap times.
Yeah.
But there were a couple individuals I don't want to throw them out there, but they came forward this year. Respect. That they came forward and let us know there was a situation and we were able to fix it. So yeah, kudos.
You're right. And that's something that we don't have 30 seconds to talk about it. We need a lot more time on a podcast to talk about it. And I think that's one of our upcoming podcasts is we need probably about 10, 15 minutes on that subject. And we're going to talk about that because a lot of people being new, aren't sure of what the right and the wrong way is, so we will cover that. That's a good point, Chris.
Yeah, good upcoming topic.
Yeah.
So I want to throw this comment up. So Eric Moore and Connie Moore are tuned in. Can't thank them enough for hosting such a great race. I know that there was an issue with the pond, and we didn't get to go swimming or fishing, but we still got to thank them and for all they do. in addition to hosting our kind of a potluck that started last year, right? We kind of threw it. So they host it in their building, cleaned up after some people maybe spilt a drink or two. Yeah, they're great hosts. So can't thank them enough.
Yeah, it's always interesting, Chris, when we get done with this race, and we are so blessed to have some of the absolute best landowners there is. They're all work with us so well and everything. So we're not knocking any of them when we say this.
No.
But probably this more than any other race. And I think it's because Connie and Eric are out there with the racers, and seeing Eric, going up and down the line and telling them good luck, and shake. You just don't get that everywhere. And
yeah,
the cool thing is that old example, or that old saying, lead by example. And if you knew how many people came up to me, if they're watching, they'll remember this, because one of the last things I did before we left their property was I got a picture of them in their golf cart. And it's kind of like the iconic picture when you think of Hog Haven. I mean, everybody comes up to me, and that's why I got it. And you don't even realize it sometimes, like myself, because I guess we take it for granted,
Yeah.
But so many racers will be like, yeah, I can't wait to see Eric and Connie on the golf cart. They just know it's like my dad on a tractor. It's just cool. And so, yeah, I just want to get that picture, for future use. And it's cool because everybody's just always, they always talk about the track. They talk about the scenery down there, just a beautiful place. But probably more than anything, anytime you see somebody talk about that race, they talk about the landowners.
Yep.
And that just, man, that picture is worth 1,000 words,
Yeah, you're getting some comments coming in. Yeah, if you grab them, they'll talk to you, especially give you a tour of the shop and explain, he's got some old machines in there, 3-wheelers. So even I saw, I think that's a 305 Sprint wing on there too. I'm going to guess.
Yep.
So
his grandkids race sprint cars now. So yeah, definitely a cool place. And if you got the time, man, there we go.
And when I even saw, Connie and Eric take on a competitor on the whole shot, right?
Right. I don't think they knew they were going to, but they think they had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. I did get a request that, we should have a potluck after every race. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of always nice. It just knows that, especially some of us, it's we're busy. So even though the races are over, doesn't mean that we get to stop. We still are tearing down scoring, tearing down the track, getting cones picked up, tearing down banners, rolling them up. So there's a lot that we have to do to get things picked up. But it was nice. This one I got to speak with a couple different folks all throughout the day, and that's not normally what I get to do. I'm usually head down, got to rush to get something else done. So this one is the stress a little bit off because it's the last one.
Yeah.
But, it was good potluck.
And not all the places do we have the facility that we do to have that one.
Yeah.
It's just a special place to end the season. It's like it's like when you leave there, you feel like it's complete. It's like, okay, you just, that last weekend, there's so much there. And, I think every year, especially with the kids, it's just going to keep growing. And we've seen that with the potlucks, this one compared to the first one. There's a lot more people hanging around and just having fun. And yeah, it's a great time.
And some karaoke going on.
Yeah. Had some karaoke.
Some of you guys got to do. So with that, I'm going to slaughter his last name. How do you say his last name? That provided Andrew Mal.
Yes. Malachecki.
Yeah.
I should have practiced before.
I know.
and hey,
Sorry, Andrew.
Let's be honest with that, Chris. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but that's not something that he was asked to do. He called up and offered to do that for everybody. That's, to me, that's even that much more, special when it's not that you were asked to do it, it's that they wanted to do it. And it's really cool. And they even offered to maybe do it at the banquet. We're gonna talk to them. We don't have the banquet finalized. We're pretty sure that I kept telling everybody the 30th of January, Chris. It's actually the 31st. It's that Saturday.
So you're trying to get everybody there one day early.
Yeah, so we can have fun. But no, as soon as we do get everything finalized, there's been some turnover down there, and we got a new gal to work with, so we just got some stuff we got to get worked out before we can say officially it's there. Yep. But once it is, we get everything worked out, then we'll talk to them about maybe being able to do a fun thing like that, after the banquet, in the hall, and be able to just have some fun in there for an hour or two or something, so.
Okay, let's try this hooked on phonics. So
Muholic. I need that at the award ceremony for some of those names.
Yeah.
Hooked on phonics. Yeah, not just him, but his wife was a big part of that too.
Yeah.
She had a lot of fun out there.
And isn't Andrew, correct us if we're wrong, but this is Andrew's first year racing with us, right?
I think so, yeah.
I remember seeing and having conversation Mount Pleasant. I believe they stopped and talked they got us some dilly bars from Dairy Queen. Gotta give them a shout out for that too.
I do remember
While we're all working the gate late Saturday night.
Dilly bars will always move you up. That's for sure. So
Dilly bars. I don't know. I got the Dalton family. So they're always up at scoring for the kids. Got pulling my heartstrings this weekend. Usually there's always some sort of candy deal going down. I always bring in candy. I'll will and deal some food. But they brought me a big container of cheese balls. So it's opened. Not very much of it's gone. But give me a few weeks.
That's pretty cool.
So.
Yep. And we're going to talk about this when we do our season review, but, I won't talk about you right now, but the whole crew out there, whether it be the gate with Cora, and Ricky, and, the registration with Tina and Tracy and Kim, helping you, and the whole track crew. The reason I'm bringing them up is we just had a lot of people calling, thanking them at the race, It's just, I think everybody's always respectful. And I don't know if it's just because we have so many new people this year, but it just, like you said, it tugged at my heart when you see the people really acknowledging what the crew does to put the whole show on,
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of new people come out and help us this year. And a lot of them are like blown away on how much work it is, and then they're also blown away on how much fun it is, on Thursday and Friday nights, man, we have a blast in our little fun times at, the trailer with all the guys and it's just a lot of fun. So always recruiting if anybody's interested in helping next year. we can definitely use some new faces for sure. So we got a lot of work coming up next year. A lot of exciting things. I got premature again on the releasing the dates. I do not have them. I'm not even close enough to really talk about it. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris. I haven't put the time in that I should have. Just been some other stuff going on. We've been kind of looking for tracks, for next year. And I need to get that narrowed down. Not necessarily where we're going yet, but at least the date so people can get on vacation. So obviously we got enough people that's racing GNCC. That's a big part of it, is their schedule, and their schedule usually doesn't come out until December. So, but I hope to have our rough schedule out before then. So just kind of have to go off of last year's schedule, I guess. So,
yeah. And I have some availability issues next year as well. So,
yeah. But replacing, our track that we're replacing this year is looking good. We've got some.
Are you able to tell, just tease a little bit, like what round it's going to be or anything?
I wish I could. I really don't. I know when I'd truly like to have it, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen. So it's, I really don't know yet, unfortunately.
It reminds me I got to do my homework for that one yet. I better make myself a note.
Yep. So the schedule is, we know we'll be starting early April. I can tell you that. And our goal is to have once a month instead of, Paul Cirque really pushes for the, a race every other weekend, and it's tough. I never like to do that. It's Paul just keeps pushing me to do it, so, but I'm gonna try to, I'll probably go against Paul's wishes this year, and I'm really trying to get it down to one a week. One a month. But there could be a situation for April having two, one at the beginning and one at the end. We might have, depending on which track we end up going to, or if we replace two, I doubt it. But there is a couple locations that would have to be done before the crops go in. So if that's a situation, we would have probably two in April. So, but outside of that, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. So I'm excited to go see a couple tracks, Chris.
You had me. I can't even say anything. Yeah.
It's tough not to, isn't it?
I mean, you can't even tease anybody. I will say that Andy shared some stuff with me, gave me a homework assignment or two about next year, doing something. I mean, it could be awesome. I mean, if we get it to work out the way we want it to work out, it'd be one of the biggest races in the Midwest.
I really believe that.
So, something a little different. We're going to try it. Definitely going to try something different only at this race.
But let's be clear. It will be a points race.
It will be, yeah. It's
not a non-points. It'll be part of the season championship. So one of our 7 races. So, you know what they say is when one door closes, another door opens. So, isn't that what they say?
Sure.
So, definitely excited. Or what?
You're excited. I'm already excited, nervous because it's going to be some work.
If I didn't have confidence in every aspect, and I can truly tell you, Chris, this, please, I don't want anybody else to hear this. This is between you and I, okay? I don't want anybody else to hear that I gave you credit, but because you did give me credit earlier in this, but I don't want to match that. But,
sure.
But I can truly say, I think where we're at now, and some people might laugh at me, and I get it, and that's their own perspective, I guess. But I think where we're at right now, our series is setting the best it has ever set. And what I
Certainly.
mean by that is when we go to the track, unfortunately, I got to kind of see it firsthand, missing a race last year. I really didn't have a worry. I worried because I'm not there. You know what I mean? You want to see it, but we got an amazing team right now, and the crew, it seems like, well, you've seen it, it's like whether it be a scoring or what I've thrown at you right now, I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like it's already done. One way or another, I feel like you're going to figure out how to do it. It's just like the tracks, with Paul Cert getting there, thinking about it, call me on a Monday and talking to me, but hey, if we go around this tree back there on that hill below the dock on the other side of the road, with that tall grass that has that low hanging fruit, if we go around that tree, I think we can do, it's just a fun stuff like that. And it's like, how are we ever get it done? I know you've heard me be like almost a panic, like, I don't know how we're going to get this done. We only got 2 days, we don't have enough help, but somehow with the people that we have right now, and like Danny Graber showing up, and there's a couple other people that showed up this weekend to help, that was Dean Hansen, big helps. But it's like when it's there and we need the help, it's there. And somehow or another, we always get people registered. Somehow or another, we get everybody through the gate. Somehow or another, you figure out the scoring system to make it work here. It's unbelievable, I think. So I'm excited. We're not even a week out yet, are we, from the last race?
No, we switching gears, man. I mean, you got to, because time's going to fly by. I mean, we've got to have some decisions. We've already talked about the 90 stock class. We've got to get that decision done. Got to look at rules.
I know one other thing we got to do too. Oh, and part of it, let me say this first. We have to nail down different colors for the 90 stocks.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
well,
so.
the reason why we didn't the last 2 years is because we won.
Yeah.
We didn't want to, when we split them, we didn't want to have one section or the other, one class or the other get new plates.
You're right.
And then this year, I don't think we did like back of helmet stickers or whatever. But yeah, going forward, once we come up with a third class or potentially fourth class, we'll have to come up with a different color combination.
Yep. So
most likely, in my opinion, it should be the young 90s, because those kids will all transition out into the older, or yeah, that would be.
So 2 things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I know I just forgot the one already. So one, we have to figure out a way, maybe someone else can, or I'm sure you and Sabrina or Zach can come up with this, but we need to come up with a way to have everybody, please let us know if you're looking at racing the youth, the 90 classes, and how old your kid will be. You know what I mean?
So that was a question in the comments at the beginning. When we determine age, we determine age as of January 1st. So if your kid on January 1st is not as 9, but January 3rd turns 10, he could race in the 90 stock 8 to 9 class.
Or the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've had to clarify that probably a dozen times this year. Mm-hmm. So just to clear that up, that January 1st means that you are locked down there as far as what you can compete in. So if your birthday is January 3rd and you turn 10, you can still race in that younger group, but it does not mean that you have to. And that's in any of the age groups. You know what I mean?
Yep.
On any of them, as long as you are January 1st, you're of that age. So, like a lot of people ask, like the juniors, for example, I turned 16 in October 1st. Our last race, you know what I mean, is whatever. Can I still race in the junior class? And the answer is yes. At the beginning of the year, you can move up anytime you want, once you're of age, but as long as you're like a 9-year-old, you said the best example there is at 8 to 9 and then the 10 to 15 or whatever. So yes, as long as you are 9 years old, January 1st, even if, like you said, it's January 3rd that you turn, you can still race either one of those. You're not held to it. A lot of people think that you are held to that class, but you can move up whenever you want, as long as you after you turn of age, So yeah, but that we've just got to figure out how we can figure that out, how old the kids are, so we can make the right adjustment there, and know that sooner than later. We know we're going to get some more as it goes, but if we got 30 of the 50 to let us know, 100%, that's what they're racing, so we know it. I think we can make a better judgment call in the classes that way, and not.
Well, I think we have to take in consideration the 70, because I know there's a 70 production. Was talking with his dad, Mr. Herrera, that's going to jump to the 90s, I believe. They find the new machine. But I think we also have to take in consideration the 50 stock kids. So, that not only do you have to look at your current 78 kids currently that raced a 90, but we'll also go back and look at the 50s kids as well. So
anybody. Yep. But the other thing I want to make sure we brought up, Chris, is I really, really want to hold ourselves to around that. I'm saying around, not a hard cutoff date, but around that second week in December for suggestions on any classes, any changes that might need to happen, it's one of those things that was when we were racing with the side-by-sides, there's a lot that changed in them, whether it be for safety or classes or whatever. I don't think we're going to get too much of that in the ATVs. I don't think we're getting a lot of those changes. I can tell you one thing that I think we need to look at truly. I don't know right now if there's a need for 2C classes. It seems like the first 2 races there is, and then after that, the old C class has went down to 4 to 5 people, and the younger one is, it's pretty solid. So I don't know, but that's some of the changes I think we need to look at. We used to have 2 different classes for B class, young and old. It might be something that we need to go back to 1 C class and then maybe look at a different style of class, I don't know.
Yeah.
But don't feel bad if if you bring something up. It may be something that we've tried and we know it works or we know it don't work. But you never know unless you bring it up. We've had some great really, really good suggestions from riders in the past. And I think what everybody's got to realize is the safety stuff, competition stuff is what we have to look for, but the rules are literally for the riders. It's to keep them either safe, competitive. If you don't have I always like the AMA because it keeps you going in the right directions. We've been to other series. Heck, we've been to our series before, and you get that person that may should be in the C or the A class, but wants to go race a C, so he gets a wood plaque. We just don't get that very often, thanks to AMA. So different suggestions like that, one thing that I think we should bring up, Chris, and I'm not, I don't want to say I'm not happy with it. I just don't think it fits where it should right now. And that's, if we do have somebody, there's a difference between getting off track and cutting track. And I know that we're going to talk about this in a later episode. But the setting, the criteria for that. You and I both know if someone comes through, like I think it was maybe Weldon, we had 3 first-year guys come through, 5-10 minutes before the AA guys did. That's an obvious that they got off track. We throw that lap out. It just is what it is. There's not even a question there. That won't be questioned. But if you get somebody that gets off track for 30 seconds, there's a difference between a cut, and like I said, and getting off course. And here's the thing. I know I'm getting sidetracked, and I promise I'll shut up here.
Are you moving into what's bugging Andy here?
Yes. No.
I'll throw that out there for you. It's everybody's favorite segment. What's bugging Andy?
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, since you brought this up, I'm gonna feel like I'm getting soft on this one. Okay.
Only if I can call you soft.
What's bugging Andy this time is that we literally just got done with our last race of the year. That's what stinks. That's what's bugging me. We've got 3 months before we get to see the whole race family together again. January, November, December, January. Yeah, 3 months basically, almost 4 maybe. Before we get to see everybody together again. But don't get me wrong, Chris. I'm glad when we that last race and we get through it that we can just kind of hang our hats and say, okay, that's 22nd year. We just got done with it. That's good. We made it through there. When I say safely, I know you get a couple situations going, but we made it through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other edge of that sword is the fact that it's over. This year went so fast. I think it's because it went so good. It went so fast. And it's like, we have so many new ones. We have so many new families. We have so many people camping, that is definitely, like I said, I get soft on this. That's definitely what's bugging me is it's just, it's a bummer. I absolutely love the races. I love the people. So it's going to be a long winter. So, but I think that's, what? That's why we're so excited.
I'm going to throw this at you, Andy, since we're live and you can tell me no in front of the 22 people that are listening. What about a turkey trot race?
A turkey trot race?
What if we do something fun?
Okay. Number one,
we're both going to get killed by your wife.
I can't believe you're asking me about this. I know it's not you saying this. I'm saying it. I'm agreeing that you need a break. Nobody realizes the pressure that is put on you on all the races. You need to walk away for a second,
Yeah.
I can tell you for this year, just because of some of the stuff that we got going behind the scenes, that wouldn't even be feasible.
No,
that wouldn't even be feasible for this year. So
see, I tried, Adam.
But, here's the thing too, Chris, that I don't think maybe a lot of the new people understand how and why we don't really have a bylaw. We've never been that official, but the one thing about our series, I think a lot of people really don't realize, because every year it's like, are we doing a Heartland? Are we not doing a Heartland? Are we doing the fair? Are we not doing the fair? Are we doing the extra races? Are we not doing it? Are we going to add races to the challenge or to the series? All great questions. But the fact of the matter is, there's one reason that we do not do more than 7 races on our series. And it's funny because some series, and I'm not trying to point the finger, it's just always funny. And you know what I'm talking about, but we can have anything out on social media and there's different races, there's different series that comes in, and it's like you would think you're advertising for them, on our social media. I can honestly tell you, I've never went out to another series. You can hold me to this, Chris. I've never, ever in my life, correct me if I'm wrong, went out to another series on social media and advertised our series on something that they're advertising. You know what I mean? Like whether it be a series close or a race close. I've never, ever went out and tried to break up that conversation and start one for our series. But there's a reason for that. And I understand why there's sometimes people think they can do that to ours. Is most of people run 10, 13 races a year. You know, we run 7, and we don't need to be the biggest series, period. And I mean this wholeheartedly, and you know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
We're not ever worried about being the biggest series. What we are worried about is doing the best we can for every single race that we put on. In those 7 races, it is our goal to make our racers, you know, better racing by the way we lay out tracks, by the way we do our rules, by the way we push the sportsmanship. And at the end of the day, for everybody that wants to go race more, please do. We see guys going to AXC. We see guys going to GNCC. We see guys going to IXCR. We see guys to Oklahoma. We love that. And there's nothing, I don't probably respond as much as I should, but man, nothing I like more is than seeing one of our Iowa guys go down to another series and come back with a win. I mean, I may not tell everybody, but in my head, that's bragging rights. You know, I love it when they go in there. But the thing is we're 7 races. We're 7 races so the family can get together 7 times and have a great time. But if you want to do baseball, if you want to do volleyball, you want to do softball, swimming, wrestling, whatever it might be, you can go do that because we're only asking for 7, you know, hopefully 1 weekend a month. That's it. And that's usually manageable to get around, but we want you to have a life. We don't want racing to be the dead center of everything, you know? So we want you to be able to go and do that stuff. And that's why we only do 7 races. So yeah, but there you go.
I knew that would get you all worked up.
Yeah.
See, I helped you with your segment.
You did.
No, it's a good balance, and especially, you know, I can't speak on the whole crew, but 7's a good balance. That, you know, there's still lots to do behind the scenes, you know, and it helps us with family, you know, especially this is a very busy time for myself. Like I said, we're jumping. We're not even going to get a break since we're already jumping into some wrestling, and we've got some big shoes to fill for wrestling this year. So that's our focus. So, and like we've already mentioned, there's so much that we've got to look forward to for next year that we've got to get started now to make it work. It's not something that I can have done tomorrow. And even with a big, you know, shout out to Zach. I think he's still watching. People don't know, you know, we were doing some testing during the kids races. Zach is helping and leading the charge on something new. We don't want to like spill the beans, but it's something we're working on behind the scenes to try to make it better for next year. So, well, that's going to consume a lot of time here shortly. As we get through lots of testing, making sure everything's going to work okay, and hopefully some good improvements for next year.
Yeah, I think we definitely got the cart in front of the horse for next year. We're saying we're doing this, but we're not sure if we can do it yet.
No.
But like we said earlier, there's I don't question when I say we don't even know if we can do it yet, doesn't mean that we can't figure out a way to do it. You know what I mean?
We'll
it just seems like that's always the case, and I'm proud of all you guys when it comes down to that. So, yeah.
So yeah, we gotta get questionnaires out too. That's also on my list here of things to do. So if you know, we'll talk more about future podcasts. I think I'm going to do a questionnaire a little bit different this year. So
that would be good to have. My goal this year, Chris, is we're always sweating like crazy, and we know we're going to have some turnover this year. So, but my goal is to get obviously the schedule done, and then we would love to get all the races sponsored. I know that sounds almost, we got to work on securing a title sponsor, securing hopefully a presenting sponsor with everything that we got going on, our race sponsors, and have that done that we can make that announcement at the banquet rather than 2 weeks before the race. Get the banners done and everything. So yeah. So, but I know we're over the time, but
I know.
We're not sure on our next podcast. We're going to do it next week yet. We'll figure it out.
We're going to take a week off.
Yes, I was going to say.
We need to take a week off because my surroundings are going to change. So I need at least a week to get to my new surroundings and get everything taken down over here in my office. So,
gotcha. Yep, but hopefully within this next 2 weeks, Chris, I can get a lot of the questions answered on some of that stuff and the banquet tied down. And
yep, we need to bring on a guest or two. So I got a few names circled over here on my sheets here that maybe we'll look into and start reaching out as well. Especially, it doesn't mean that we're done to recap this race. I think we could do a couple race reviews or season reviews. I kind of want to get some input from different racers, kind of how their season went. Doesn't have to be the ones that won a championship. It could be ones that were fighting and just didn't have that final race that worked out for them. So,
and I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this, but I'm going to throw this out there anyway. When we do our year-end reviews, and not just those, what I would like to have on for some guests is a fun thing of not just a guess. I'd like to have some families come on. We have some families out there that are racing every race. They, live at the track for a while, each race as a family. They have big get-togethers. Let's just start hearing from some of them, and highlighting some of them that, just our race families, not just a person, but, out there actually doing it the way that we all want it drawn up for everybody is, doing it as a family, putting the phones away, out in the fresh air, in the beautiful sun and at the tracks, just having fun, so that's something I want to bring up, later on. We'll get some families on here to talk to us and how they do it and stuff. So,
yeah.
Cool. Well, another one bites the dust.
Well, before we go, I just want to give congratulations to
thank you.
Not you, Joey, unless you had a baby recently. Did you have one? Stand up.
Well, no, not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. So,
but Joey Mikolas and his fiance Dar had their child. Don't want to throw out a name, but congratulations. Wasn't able to see him at the last race. Birthday falls on a good day, though.
What day was it?
The 26th, my birthday.
Your birthday. I didn't hear. Did they? I thought they were going back and forth on Andy. Did they? What name did they go with?
No, it was not Andy.
It wasn't.
Sorry, it wasn't Andy.
Okay. Gotcha. And did they get a race number yet?
No.
They didn't reserve a number yet. Okay.
Well, Joey will retire and hand the number down when that time.
Well, that could be. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm still looking for someone's gonna get a taken care of, put it that way, for the first person that I see with the series logo tattoo. Still looking for that. I haven't seen one yet.
You mean no? Oh. I'm I'm sure it could be done. How big?
I can't believe Cirque don't have one yet.
I mean,
I'll tell you who I thought would have one, like on the back of their calf, or Joe Moeller.
HR.
Yeah, I thought he'd have one by now. It blows me away, but I'm still looking for that. Still looking for it.
Interesting. So. Okay.
Cool.
Right. Yeah, buddy. Thanks for 40 minutes over. I said real hard. Let's shoot for an hour here.
I just been sitting here listening to you.
Yeah. Off the cuff.
What a change from the beginning of the season, huh?
Yeah.
We broke Chris in right.
I know. I still make lists over here, trying to things to talk about, keep you on track.
How does that work?
It doesn't. Even your phone calls, normally it's a Monday phone call to you. Hey, what do you want to talk about? Who you got? Which, yeah.
You've just given up on that too, haven't you?
I have given up calling you on Mondays. It's just busy life right now.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate everything. So
yeah,
it's
really, I know. We'll take a week off, get back at it. Need to rest, kind of brainstorm. We both have so many ideas going on in our heads.
Yeah.
Speaking of adult 90s, we need to throw out there. I know that we did the whole shot. We never did thank Jason Mickelson for sponsoring the adult 90 miniseries again this year. It was I think we had 6-7 participate. I think we'll need to reevaluate that for next year. I mean, if the numbers just aren't there, maybe come up with something else.
Yeah, for sure. But we still need help. We still need someone to either refer Jason Mickelson Century 21 or use him, but we have to get him involved in at least one house from now to the end of the year. We have to get that done. So, and I hope it don't come down to me moving. That's not happening.
Okay, here's another one comment here. I'm going to throw this up there. So, Justin Casey loved the racing this year. Didn't have the best season. So if there was ever a hard luck season award we give out, I think Justin deserves it. If you go out there, look at the points. He qualified for a year-end award with 4 points. I don't think in the history of our series has somebody qualified for an end-of-the-year award with 4 points. So,
raced 40 races, got 1 point each time.
1 point each time.
And still had an awesome year.
Hard luck. Cool. Yeah.
Somebody's having fun. That's what it's all about.
So yeah. Got a few months to maybe tear her down, Justin. Put her back together. I don't know off the top of my head where maybe you're located, but I'll throw out Dean Hansen. He's one of the best guys in the series. I'm sure we have others as well that you need some help. He's always willing to help. Maybe look over and help you.
We don't know where he's from.
I can look that up, but I don't know off the top of my head. I think he was a C. Yeah. So I'm looking this up. Anything else? I know. Rapid roll call here.
I don't. The one thing that we did slip by is thank the Berg family and HVG Trucking, lawn care, snow removal, landscape, irrigation. Once again, was a title sponsor for Murray. What a fun weekend. Thanks to them guys. And we can't say enough. We appreciate it. So,
yeah. Quincy, Illinois.
Quincy, okay.
Who Dustin's from.
Gotcha.
I mean, I know I may be biased, but Murray is my favorite T-shirt of the year.
Seems like almost every year.
I mean, it's a different hog that was on there this year as well. So
Yep.
it's always like one of my favorites to look at. I love the HVG truck in the background as well. Awesome shirt. So
yeah. I'm always tied to that or Mount Pleasant just because I love the tractors. You know, it's
was that this year we had a red tractor?
last year.
Last year, okay.
Yep. Yep. Sometime we'll talk about that. There's a lot of meaning behind that whole thing there too. So
yeah,
why we had the red tractor on a green tractor farm. You know the answer to that?
I do. We've discussed it when we had the race. Yep.
Yep. So cool. Nope. Looking forward to it. Remind everybody too that if you have a track near you that you would like us to look at or a piece of land, we're typically looking for a minimum of 250 acres. We've got some very big parcels that we're going to look at now. Very big. But yeah, we're always looking, even if it's not something to get you on this track or this year, it could be for the next year, the following year, you know.
So when you say 250 acres minimum, one of the other caveats is parking, right?
Correct. That's one of the big parts. Yes. Yep. Good flat parking to get on there. So, yep. What was that one? I didn't see that message. Looked down at the wrong time.
Somebody was thanking you, so I didn't want to leave it up. No.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Which this is the Murphys are a new family this year, I believe. I don't recognize the name, so.
Yes, sir. That's cool. Love seeing those kids, that's for sure.
Okay. All right. Anything else before we let everybody go?
No.
Okay.
Good night. Good night.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody back Tuesday. Should give you the date. We're going to take a week off, but we'll be back a week from Tuesday. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.